Hello, hello. How's it going, everyone? My name is Ryder Ping, and I got my good friend Alden here on the podcast. So, for people who don't know who you are, Alden, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Alden Doe. I'm 19 years old. I'm about to be a UCLA student and transferring PCC, majoring in data science and business economics. They go hand in hand for a business industry. But yeah, that's pretty much about me. But go ahead, ask your
Yeah, that's
questions.
awesome, bro. Yeah, so you went to PCC, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yo, how was your experience at PCC? Like, how was your college experience so far?
So honestly, I felt like I did the most I could in order to make the best out of the system. Because honestly, um, like everything in life, right? It's how you make the most out of it, in which it comes out reward. And I thought I did a pretty good job, adjusting to everything when it comes down to just utilizing my 2 years and just being very punctual about my time and how I'm using my time. So for the most part, I stay really locked into my academics,
Wow.
um, which is a pathway that for some of you could take. Some of you guys don't have to take that pathway. Everyone's different. Everyone's got a different skill set of like what really matters to them and how they want to change or fluctuate the world. But for me, I felt like I'm more academic based and I could do things and be successful hand to hands with that stuff. So that's basically my
Yeah, that's
story.
awesome, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You said you were locked in on your academics, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't mind sharing, what's your GPA and like what's your academics looking like?
So I have a 3.9. I just one B basically. In terms of my academics, I mean, I did like 5 classes like per semester. Mostly just focus on myself. Know when to devote my time into it. Like I feel like every day is just a battle between yourself and how you conduct yourself with your time management and everything. And it teaches you, gradual process of change, right? If you see an error, you gotta find a way to fix up your schedule, right? So I was really punctual
Absolutely.
about a schedule, right? Because every day, for me, I do a lot of things. I improvise on the go, but
Cool.
sometimes I think it's super important that hey, like have it like an agenda, figure out something that you want to accomplish that day, what do you want to get better at, and then work on that. Because I think every day is just a process. You're just getting better.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. I completely agree with you. Just focusing on one thing every day, getting better every day is definitely essential, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, you said you're transferring to UCLA. What do you think
yeah,
is like one main factor why? Obviously, as you know, UCLA is super competitive. You got a UCLA, so congrats.
yeah.
But yeah, I
Appreciate
mean,
it.
how did you like? What is like the main determining factor? Why do you think they accepted you?
I think it has to do with my work with associate students. So, um, last when I was in high school, I felt like I really was really shallow,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to put my face out there, right? Because I didn't really like people around in that environment. But I think when I went to CC, I think it was a different type of vibe where it's kind of, hey, I want to adjust out of that time that I had in high school. It's a new environment. Everything's changed. Everything is new, right? And I felt like I had to put myself out there somehow. And when I joined associate students, I really gave me a platform to understand more about business in general, because you can learn like accounting stuff in classes. You can learn about like communications, whatnot. But I felt like from a time in associate students, it helped me branch out and network with like the president. I've got to know, sat down with him many times. I've gotten to know many
Wow.
famous people throughout PCC, like Ryan Liu, very famous guy who transferred from PCC to
Wow.
Yale. I sat down with him for lunch and we had a great chat just about like the transfer process, what it looks like, and it's all about government policy, that type of stuff. I get involved with that, and I made the most significant change within my campus. So it's all about like again like what you do that you can write under essay that can make a huge impact. So if there's way that you want to talk about, hey, how do you show leadership? How do you get better within like niche of like, hey, help community of students? What you do that's effective. And I felt like from work associate students providing a lot of fun campus events for students to enjoy, have good memories, because I felt a lot of students didn't really have a fun time at CC,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that they
Dude,
come
for
here
sure,
and
bro. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So, bro, did you do like a end of year graduation speech? Because obviously, I noticed that you're pretty good at talking. I
yeah.
feel like it's pretty natural.
Um,
So, did you get one?
so, right. So I wasn't put in a position to speak at graduation, which I will for my banquet on Monday. I'll get to host and speak for the people over there, so that's gonna be a big one. So yeah.
Perfect, bro. For someone who wants to go to UCLA, like you, kind of follow your path. Do you have like any advice, any tips?
Maximize your connections and the people that's around you, right?
Okay.
Like for example, I another reason why I really got in was because I had to like do like 15 credits of honors classes, and that gave me like a 70% to 80% odds of like getting admitted to UCLA.
Yeah,
So as long as you like expand your connections and you talk to different people, navigate, honestly, just never be afraid to talk or ask questions, because I feel like everyone's here in the
that's
same
dope. Yeah,
boat, trying to be successful, right? It doesn't matter what pathways are going, whether it's going like UCLA, whether it's going to like, I don't know, starting your own like business, opening up a code academy, whatnot. Everything's all about just branching and networking and just meeting different people, and that's going to get you far in life.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, just talking to people will definitely open doors. So it's,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's definitely one skill that I'm trying to master myself as well. But okay, let's talk about like your plans after college. So let's say you've gone to UCLA, you've graduated. What are your plans after that?
So here's the thing. So when I get UCLA, I want to maximize my opportunities again, because I want to work within finance or something that's related to sports business. So again, make the best connections I can.
Okay.
Thankfully, I have data science I can back up onto, because I really do like understand data analytics and how that applies for businesses, right? Understand, hey, what works? How's our growth and sales? What does that look like? What's our potential for next year, right? So having skills like, understanding code, understanding, hey, how to use a spreadsheet, right? Again, just looking for different ways of how employers can look at you, and use the time to find internships. It's so valuable, because that's going to help me be successful in my
Oh, also,
career.
yeah. Did you do an intern or?
Yeah. So far, I'm applying to some couple of them for the year. So not necessarily for the summer, but for the fall. So it's a school year. So that way, when I'm taking class, I'm using my time
Oh, so
outside
you're
to
gonna
make
do
sure
both. You're
that,
gonna take classes and you're gonna intern at the same time.
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely,
dope,
yeah.
bro.
I
Awesome. Yeah, awesome, bro. Awesome. So yeah, let's talk about like content creation, because you said you wanted to pursue like UCLA, like the financial route, but then you said you also wanted to pursue like a bit of content creation on the side. So what are your thoughts on
absolutely.
like content creation, and how do you plan to get into it?
So when I was a little younger, I always thought like I had a good energy around me, and I really like talking to different people. And for me, I thought it'll be a cool idea to do some content creating, because
Yeah,
um, it just fits my personality. I like engaging with people. I like hearing people's thoughts, what their perspective is, and when I pursue it at UCLA, which I now have open opportunity to, because I had to be professional for a bit for my work at
yeah,
associate students, but now I can be myself, talk to different people. I really want to get into a little bit more public interviews, that type of stuff, and ask people questions. But yeah, I think being a content creator, you have to be consistent at it,
oh,
and
absolutely.
you have to have good camera work, right? Editor, people that can have a good mic set for you, right? What's the trend looking like? What do people like look nowadays? Like everyone, I'll be honest, I think everyone follows the trend, but people don't aren't trend settlers, right? You have to be the person that
Absolutely.
initiates, right?
You have to start trends
Because
for sure.
Right, because everyone can do the same thing. The commonality. Oh, like, oh, what's your, I'm like, what type of girls do you like? You can ask that same question, but at the end of the day, you have to be new. You have to find something that people aren't doing. Like you can look at guys like Mr. Beast, who are doing like something phenomenal with like their content creating. Coco Melon like knows like what type of like people that they're catering to audiences to. So
Yep.
it's just all about like
It just
understanding
all
your.
it's like at the end of the day, it's just consistency and just posting consistently, because most people, 99% of people don't even post your first video because they're either scared of like people judging them or not getting views, whatever the reason is. Like the reason, like you just
Do
have
it.
to start posting the first video. And
Just
the
do
thing
it.
is like I'm a testament of that, because I like, dude, I post my videos are quite frankly shit, but I still could get views just out of people that I know. They check it out of pure curiosity. They'll watch my video out of pure curiosity, and I get the view. The thing is, my video doesn't need to be Mr. Beast production level, right? It doesn't need to be top notch, but there are people that'll watch my videos out of pure curiosity. So yeah, I mean, starting is definitely the
Yeah.
most important. Just starting and then posting consistently for sure. So yeah, I mean, what are your plans? Like, are you gonna just start posting on TikTok, like YouTube Shorts?
So I posted a video for a sample last year. I was in UCR and I asked people questions and stuff, but I think like you said about consistency, which is something that I lacked of at that time. But this is something that now I have a clear head and vision of what I really want to do. I think it's all about again pushing it out. So I did post a little bit more on TikTok first, but I look forward to divide it more on TikTok and also YouTube Shorts. And Instagram is definitely a good platform that I'm a lot bigger at. My platform on Instagram is the biggest for me, so I can definitely post stuff there too.
Yeah, you just gotta start, bro, because of the wildfire effect. Like, you don't need to set like all the trees up on fire to burn the whole forest. You just need to set up one tree and the whole forest will go on fire. So yeah, I mean, just start posting, bro. Just start posting.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. Let's talk about your. I want to talk about your daily routine. So yeah, what does it look like when you wake up, when you sleep, when you work?
All right. So basically, I have a lot of morning classes, but
Okay.
again, I have to be really punctual about what time I wake up. So I try to wake up around like maybe 7, right? Because I have maybe some
Cool.
class around 9 or something, and I try to squeeze in that time and work out because I think there's a lot of fatigue throughout the day, and when you come home from work or from school or something, you're more fatigued, right?
Yeah.
So I think an advice that I've learned from someone that I grew up, learning from is that they told me that if you start your mornings with your workouts, you're more prone to doing it, and it's kind of like discipline. You know what I mean? Whereas, hey, you do your work, you're doing all this throughout the day, and then you get tired at the end, and you have that mindset where it's kind of like you can't do it. So I like to set my workouts in the morning. Simple as that.
So you try to do
Right?
like all the hard stuff in the morning, pretty much.
Yeah. Um, Obviously, you won't have as much energy as you would in the evening, but still, it's
Cool.
still good to be productive in the morning. Most
Awesome.
people aren't productive in the morning. That's the thing.
When do you work, bro? When do you work?
So I like to set my time around 7:30. So I go to like maybe choose fitness or whatnot, and I'm just going in there, being consistent. I do like a push pull legs type of thing, and I just set it a key. I have a set workout, set reps to do, and I hop in a sauna if I could, and for maybe about 15 minutes or so. When I'm cleared up, right, let's say I'm finished around 8:30, I get half an hour to just make it there.
All
And
right.
usually I'm always on to my time because I gotta know, hey, this is time cut off. I gotta go now. If I'm taking my workouts too long, I gotta go try something else. You know what I mean?
What do you like do after working out though? Do you go to class?
What happened?
What do you do like after working out?
Right. So I go class, right?
Yeah.
Do my thing. Again, get my own lunch. Do my AS work. Same thing, right? Work. I also work in some student organizations too on campus. So
Cool.
I time work too. So I got work two jobs to do, and I also got my work to do. Come home, same thing, right? Try to read a book, get myself engaged into like different books like Art of
Out of War
War.
by Sun Tzu.
Yeah,
Awesome, bro.
I've been reading a lot more from Robert Kobayashi.
Oh,
Super
Rich Dad
interesting.
Poor Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
Rich
read
Dad
that
Poor
one as
Dad.
well.
Right. I think it's important to set yourself time for reading a book
Yeah, what do you think
and
is like your?
meditation.
Sorry to interrupt, but what do you think is like your main takeaway from the Art of War by Sun Tzu?
I think it's to never let your enemies understand what you're doing, because here's the
Okay.
thing. I think that my biggest enemy, and I like to do this, right? I know sometimes people will say like, "Hey, you can't really think about other people when you're like in your battle," but honestly, when you look at other people around you and you see that person doing better, it makes you try to fight harder. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're not pushing yourself, right? You can be content to where you are, right? You can be mediocre, do the same thing,
Yep.
same routine. But if you see someone doing better than you and you're not doing that, then it just trains your mind to keep pushing. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
mean,
I
yeah, that's why
want
the goal is to like surround yourself with people who are doing better than you. or
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
the same goals as you.
I, that's why I love this statement so much. And people say hire people that are smarter than you
Oh yeah,
because yeah,
absolutely. I
you
hear that all the time.
right. If you flock yourself with people that are not as smart, you're gonna be with that crowd. Whereas,
Yeah.
hey, I'm with people that are smart, that are gonna channel me to make me better. That's who I want to be around with, right? And I try to think about that, right? There, at the end of the day, when I'm finishing up something, I want to leave hey a notes, right? What are some things that I did today that I'm really proud of, right? What are some things that I felt, hey, there are mistakes down the line. I made an error. Okay, what can I do that's better, right? I think it's a trial and error process. You analyze your day.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Lot,
You kind of
yeah,
like put yourself in like a feedback loop, so you're constantly analyzing what you're doing.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
If, if you're not understanding, hey, what can I do that's the betterment for my future? That's why I always try to look at it this way. Every time I do something, I have to ask myself, does this benefit me? Right? I think that our generation nowadays is accustomed to being on the internet, scrolling through TikTok,
Yeah,
YouTube
max brain
Short,
rotting.
Instagram. It's absolutely it's brain rotting to the
Yeah,
core, and when
absolutely.
people get addicted to that,
Yeah,
it's over.
the thing is like you can take advantage of that though. So every since everyone's scrolling, you can be the like you don't have to be the consumer. You can be the producer. Everyone's
You
scrolling, so you have to take advantage of that.
can't be the producer, absolutely.
Yeah, I
So
mean they say it's attention's the new economy, and everyone's on the internet nowadays. So I
absolutely,
think yeah, that's
so,
why personal branding and just kind of just like taking the internet real estate is just so overpowered right now.
absolutely. So I gotta ask myself, I'm like, hey, is
Yeah.
this something that's gonna benefit me in the long run? Right? I always ask myself that every question. What benefit is it going to make me do if I'm on TikTok 2 hours, right? And that's your average consumer. Everyone's on these
Yeah,
filming
2 hours minimum, bro.
short term devices. It's not good. It's not beneficial for your health.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, bro.
Whereas, hey, I go out, do my workouts. That's a huge difference. Like a difference that you set for yourself to work out for an hour is so different when you say, hey, I just lay in my bed, I scroll on TikTok for an hour. I'm going through the algorithm, whatever
Yeah,
it's to me,
we're jerking
and that's
off.
the type of pleasure that you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Let's move on to the next question. So, you said you wanted to do content.
Yeah.
What type of content like inspires you? What type of content do you plan to make?
Tyler Oliveira, Jen, again, those type of dudes, they go like more into like society and what it looks like. I think it's so important. I think it's interesting to me when you understand like because everyone lives in a small world, right? Everyone lives in a cooped up world where okay, this is how things are here, but in reality, there's other things that's going on there. Like for example, you live in California, you're you're mostly used to like liberal ideology, that type of stuff. But let's say, whereas I go to like Alabama or Florida, I get to understand different perspectives from different people and what they think about stuff. You
I
know what I mean?
completely agree, bro. Yeah, I mean the world's actually huge. There's financial abundance. If you're walking to like a grocery store, you're walking past millions of dollars. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we gotta change our mindset to think big instead of thinking small. That's very corny, but it's just
Absolutely.
true, man.
I love traveling. That's the thing, right? Because um, you gotta, if you want to understand more about the world, you gotta travel around. You gotta
That's
understand
true. That's
how
true.
people are functioning, what's a tradition like, right? Because everywhere, we're all not the same,